Hey guys, so excuse my voice if it sounds a little bit weird. I've been sick the last couple days and I'm just trying to get over it, so let's hope for that. But today I wanted to talk, it's more like a story time. I wanted to talk about what happened a year ago, which I have a part 1 to this video, so I'll link it down below if you want to go ahead and watch that first. And things will make so much more sense. So basically November 18th around like 6 maybe, I got in a car accident, and that was my first like actual car accident, and it was the first time I broke my leg, so everything was like just like so hard for me at that time. And basically I'm just gonna explain things more clearly, and I have pictures to show you guys. In my part 1, I basically left you guys hanging like on a cliff because I wasn't really ready to talk about it at that moment. I went back and I watched that video, and if you know me, like, it looks like I'm about to start crying in that video. So you could tell that I'm handling things badly at that moment. So that day, I remember, like, I did my makeup for school. Like, I normally don't like do a full-on makeup to school. I just put like maybe a little bit of powder. But I remember that day, like, I had put on some makeup and I was kind of feeling myself that day. And I mean, school went on as usual. I got home, and so my brother wasn't living in the house at that moment. So I remember my mom had said, I'll pay you so you could clean your brother's room. And I was like, okay. So that was I usually come home and I take a nap. But that day, that's what I did. I cleaned my brother's room for a little bit, and then when it was around 5, my sister had asked me if I could go with her to kind of give her boyfriend a surprise and just decorate his room for him and have everything ready for him, because at that time he was about to move into town, because he used to live in a different town. And I mean, you guys know my sister and her boyfriend. I vlog them if you guys watch my vlog channel. But anyway, I think it was around 5 or 5:20. I was just hurrying my sister up so we could leave and do that, so I could come back and finish my brother's room. So I was just kind of hurrying her up. Turned out that my other sister was coming with us too, because we were gonna stop by at the store first. So finally, like around 6, we all get in the car and we're about to leave. So in my neighborhood, like, I have a little neighborhood. It's just like 7 houses, and we all have to go up a hill. Like, it's a little hill we all have to go up. So I remember we were going up that hill, and my sister was like, my sister that you guys always see, her name is Floor. And then my other sister that we were taking to a store, her name is Jennifer. So I remember Flora asked Jennifer, what store do you want to go to, because I need to know where I'm driving to. Okay, so then Jennifer replied with a, I don't know, whatever store you want. And she's like, and then Flora was like, there's no store called that. You gotta make up your mind before we get down this bigger hill that we had to go down. We were going down the hill, and like, as we turned to go down the hill, my sister said she wanted to go to a Safeway. So then my sister was like, okay, like, I'll take you to a Safeway. And I was on my phone. Like, I was never on my phone when my sister was driving because she had, this kind of sounds bad, but she like just started driving, and I always paid attention to what was going on the road. I would reply once in a while. I was replying to my cousin's message, and while I was replying to her, it happened. I might have been gone for a little bit because I don't really remember hitting. All I remember is just like the airbag hitting me, and like my whole, like right here, this whole area like just hurt so bad, and I felt like I was bleeding. The first thing I did, like I look in front of me, I look over to her, and I yelled her name. I was like, Floor, like what just happened? I didn't say that, but like that's what I thought. I really felt like I was kind of bleeding because that's what you see on the movies like all the time. People start bleeding when they get a car accident because of the airbag. So I lift down the little mirror on the car, and like I just like, I'm checking my face out to check if I'm bleeding. And till this day, like they always make fun of me because of that. Like they say, oh, you're worried about your face, this and that. But no, like I was just checking if I was bleeding. So anyway, then my sister, like she gets into like a shock, and she starts crying really bad. She's like, my dad's gonna kill me. Like she's in shock. I feel like that's what all teenagers say when they crash their car, especially if the parent bought it for them. That's usually what they say. So I mean, that was my sister's first reaction. She was just like, my dad's gonna kill me. He really wasn't. He didn't. Just saying. And by the way, the car was almost brand new. Like my dad had just gotten it like a month or two ago, so it was pretty new. Okay, so then my sister in the back, Jennifer, she starts freaking out, and she's like, I'm gonna call my mom. Like she was all scared, and she's like, I'm gonna call my mom, this and that. And she calls my mom. My mom was working at the time, so she calls her work. And so someone at work enters, and my sister's like, hey, can I speak to my mom? I remember like looking back at her and saying, why did you call my mom? Like I know she was gonna find out anyway, but it really wasn't the perfect time to call her. So then she like, my mom answers, and my sister just hangs up like nothing. So then I look over to my sister Floor, and I'm like, do you want me to call who? Like who do you want me to call? And then she didn't say anything. She kept like crying. So I was like, do you want me to call your boyfriend? And she was like, yes. So then I call her boyfriend, and he was at work. And so I tell him, hey, this happened. We're in a car accident. She's crying, like she's in shock. I really don't know what to do. Like, what should I do? And then he said, everything's gonna be okay. Call your brother. Because he could get there faster than I can, because obviously he was out of town. So he was like, call your brother and everything's gonna be okay. And then he said, let me talk to her. And then I gave her my phone, and like again, like to him, like she was just crying, saying my dad was gonna kill her. So then after I hang up the phone with him, I call my brother. My brother was working as well at the time, and I say, hey, we just got in a car accident. I told him where we were, because obviously like he knows where we were. And I just told him we're at this place. Floor, my sister, she's pretty bad. Like she's in shock. She doesn't know what to do. And so my brother was like, okay, I'll be there as fast as I can. And I was like, okay. So then we were stopping traffic because this hill is like a 2 lanes. Like one of the lane is going down and the other lane is going up. So we were like stopping traffic. I don't know what I thought. I mean, either way, I think the cars couldn't get by. But I told my sister, hey, we're stopping traffic. Like, maybe we should move to the side a little bit. I was like, can you move the car a little bit to the side? And then she moved the car a little bit to the side because there was like a road that went to the right. So she moved the car a little bit to the side. And then after that, the lady that we crashed approached us. And she was like, hey, can I borrow your phone? I need to call... I don't remember if she said I need to call 911 or I need to call someone to come get me. Because apparently she didn't have a phone. And so I just gave her my phone. So we couldn't get out of the car because when all the airbags opened, the doors automatically locked, I think. So like we had to wait till the firefighters came and opened the door because like I think they had to like bust it open. I'm not really sure. I don't really remember. All I remember was we had to wait for the firefighters to open the door, and I was like getting anxiety in that car. Like I really wanted to get out. After the firefighters came, they opened the door for us. They checked us all. So they checked our heart rate and everything. So after they checked our heart rate, they asked if we wanted to go to the hospital in an ambulance. We said we didn't want to go in an ambulance to the hospital. Okay, so then they made us sign this paper. They basically asked how we were and what had happened. So later on, my sister told me what had happened, like based on her story. And it was basically that we were going down the hill and the lady in front of us, well, the cars on the other lane, they were stopped. And I guess the lady in front of us was stopped as well because she was looking what was going on. So she was just basically stopped right there. And when my sister noticed that the lady in front of us was stopped, it was too late. Like she couldn't do anything. So that was my sister's part of the story. My brother got there like at the same time the police got there. So I mean, we came back home, like we were just like 2 minutes or 3 minutes away from our house. So we came back home. My sister was just basically scared. So we all went to her room and we were just sitting there on her bed. And then my brother had left to fix everything with the police and get everything situated. And then once my brother got back from the accident, my sister went downstairs, and this is my sister Jennifer. She was in the back and she broke her hand. So when my brother came, she was like, oh, my hand really hurts. And her hand was like all swollen and big, and I mean it was broken. So my brother was like, whoa, you have a broken hand, like we need to go to a hospital. And so then they asked if we all wanted to go to the hospital just to get checked out. And I was like, yeah, my ankle really hurts. So then we got to the hospital and we all went to separate rooms because they had to check us out individually. So they got x-rays from me. And basically they were just gonna like not put a cast on me or anything. They didn't say I had anything. And so they sent me back to the room after they did the x-rays. And the only thing they noticed was that my heart rate wouldn't go down. So I had to stay in that room like a little bit longer. And so after, they put like some cartoons, I think, in the room, like just so my heart rate would go down. But after like 10 minutes of my heart rate like not even going down, but like I think it increased, they sent me to a different room. I think it's the rooms where people get surgery and they have to stay there a little bit longer. I think it's that kind of room. So anyway, they took me over to that room. Then they took me back to do more x-rays, and then they put like some wires like all over my body just to monitor my heart rate, and it wouldn't go down. After a few minutes my heart rate wouldn't go down, so then they decided, I don't know why, but later they decided they did want to put a cast on me. So they put a cast on me. The doctor came in and explained to me that I had broken a little bone, that's what it showed on the x-ray. So he actually said I had chipped a piece of my bone, that's what it showed on the x-ray, so they were gonna put a cast on me. So they put a cast on me, and we were just waiting for my heart rate to go down, and it wouldn't go down. We were there like till 12. So mind, the accident happened like at 6, around there. We probably got to the hospital like around 7, and we didn't leave the hospital like around 12. So we were there for quite a while, and my heart rate would just not go down. So like around 12, the doctor finally said, well, you know what, I don't know you because I'm not your doctor, but we're just gonna assume that your heart rate's up because of the accident and you're scared. So we are going to just let you go to your house, and if you have any more problems later, let us know, come back. Okay, so basically we left the hospital, we got home, my parents were like waiting for us, and we were all scared. We were like, oh, they're gonna be mad. But no, they were just happy that we were home, and we did come back with a broken leg and a broken arm, but I mean, we were still kind of safe. I mean, we were alive, so that's what mattered. By the way, my sister Floor, she didn't break anything, but she did have like extreme back pain. So yeah, that's what happened to her. My other sister broke her hand, and she later on got surgery, and I turned out to have a overbone broken. So I broke my overbone, which later on when I went to see like an expert, so he said that I had just broken an overbone, which was nothing to worry about since I really didn't need that bone anyway. And so he took my cast off. He didn't require anything else after that, but I think in a way it's kind of stupid, because like especially when it's cold, my ankle like swells up so big, and I might put a picture of how my ankles got swollen. Like I think it was that weekend. I went on a weekday, and then that weekend, this is how my ankle was. So I find it kind of stupid that they didn't like do anything about it. Okay, but then fast forward to when I actually had the cast on my foot. I just wanted to talk about how I felt, because during that time, like, I had so many feelings. Like, there were times where I would just start crying, because like I thought, whoa, like what would have happened? Like, we were all 3 of us in the car, like that happened to all 3 of us. Like, what would have happened if something like greater happened, you know? Like, we were all in the car. I was kind of devastated because at that time I was really kind of like athletic a little bit, you could say. Well, not really athletic, but I really liked running at that time, and it was basically like taken away from me. Like, I couldn't run anymore, and I couldn't, like, the first couple of days, like, I didn't walk on my foot, so basically I couldn't do anything on my own. Like, I had to get help, which is a thing that I hate the most. Like, I hate getting help from someone because I don't like depending on people. And so it was kind of a hard time for me, but I mean, I coped through it and made me a stronger person. Like, that's the thing I see. Basically, like, my main motivation, like, for everything is things happen for a reason, and they're just there to make you stronger as a person. Like, God won't give you something that you can't overcome. And that is just basically how I see things. So yeah, that was basically what helped me cope with not being able to fully depend on myself. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys have more questions, or I didn't make something clear enough, or you guys are still wondering about something, comment it down below and I'll for sure answer it. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!